My focus in the next, 5 minutes will be to talk about why VAST 4.0 is one of, I think, the most forward-facing specifications to come out in recent years. The reason that server-side ad stitching can be so very important to our industry is that there is a move, as we all know, by consumers who are hungry for long-form video content on any device wherever they are. This is a change that's coming, and some people talk about it in terms of being a converged video world. Well, the way you get there is first you take a look at how the ad is actually rendered and delivered into the consumer's device, and you get really realistic about how difficult it can be to ensure an optimal consumer viewing experience when you're on the train, when you're in an elevator, when you're at your desk, or when you're at your home on Wi-Fi watching your smart television. And the reality is that in order to get that ad into the device in a way that makes it easy for the consumer to get exactly the kind of experience they're looking for, which they need out of this industry, we have to ensure that we implement protocols that make it possible for as many players as possible to get involved and create that uniform experience. So the server-side support for stitching in digital in-stream video, that's one of the major features of VAST 4.0, is really not about today, it's about what's coming. And it allows more video players to get involved and to create more opportunities for that kind of content to be available to consumers. Along the same lines, when you're dealing with ad assets that need and video assets coming down, that mezzanine file support that's part of the VAST 4.0 experience is really critical. We need a lot of data. Those players need a lot of data to understand what they should be serving, where and how, and by utilizing Universal Creative ID and Ad ID, all the systems that are involved in the process of the consumer loading up that video and getting all the way to the end with the advertisers we care about's ads showing in a beautiful way, involves doing real encoding work on the back end. And the only way to understand whether or not a creative has been encoded correctly for that opportunity is to key off of something, and that needs to be a Universal Creative ID or an ad ID. So these are changes that right now seem maybe big and not worth it. And if you're still sitting on VAST 2.0 and you never even bothered with VAST 3.0, I just encourage you to take a hard look at your strategic trajectory as a company and where you want to be in 5 years. Because VAST 4.0 is a spec that can help you potentially get there. The other major piece of the 4.0 spec that I like is how it really supports the principles of lean. Major advertisers require measurement in order to justify where their dollars have gone. We're all very familiar with what it means when someone says, hey, can I wrap that tag with my VPAID so I can get some viewability measurement from a vendor that I care about? By upgrading VAST 4.0 to allow some of that payload to be rendered through the JavaScript instead of being dependent on VPAID, it helps us address latency issues. It helps us simplify how that measurement can happen, and it's going to be real work for a lot of different people inside the industry to get there, but again, it's something that's in line with the principles of lean. The focus here is on what the consumers need, how we as an industry continue to bring awesome ad experiences to those consumers so that there's still a relevance for us in the ecosystem as we look down the road. So I give a lot of props to the panelists this morning. I thought the discussion was great, but I would have all of you just take a step back and look at that spec from a more strategic angle so that you can justify how you're going to get there, because it will take real work. Thanks.